What's up, you guys? Happy Wednesday night. Welcome to the Pre-Scout. We are here every single weeknight at 10 p.m.-ish Eastern time. And of course, the live chat, everybody here right now knows we'll put a huge emphasis on the 10 p.m.-ish time frame there because a little bit late coming on here today. But guys, we have a jam-packed Thursday slate to get to. So I'm looking forward to breaking down a few of these games to get to and some recent trends and different things like that. We'll talk about the road trips and kind of just go over some of the games. The reason why I'm a little bit late coming on, actually, because the local soccer team for the place where I live was just in a playoff match. It went to the second half or full, I should say, full overtime or extra time, whatever they call it in soccer. They scored, the other team scored, and then it went to penalties. Long story short, guys, the team that I cheer for lost the game because penalty kicker hit or missed the net, kicked the ball over the net, and that's how it ended. So that's what I was doing. Full transparency with all you guys. Yes, sudden death. Exactly. It was sudden death, extra time. And I'm watching, and at first one of our guys got saved. Then our keeper made a save, and it was a chance to win it for my local team, and the player missed the net, kicked the ball way over the net. So that's where I was. But anyway, I'm happy to be here, guys. Love this comment here. Andrew must be doing his hair and getting water. Well, we got this water. Maybe he was doing the hair. We could use that as an excuse. And here we are. So OG Swag, I know that's our guy, Timothy. We got It's Me in here. We've got my guy, Dayton Camo, in the chat as well. Cheer me up, man. Dude, I'm happy to be on here doing a quick show because I don't even want to think about what I just saw. That was ridiculous. I could not even imagine losing a penalty shootout that way. Like, it's one thing if your goalie just couldn't make some saves or if it's top corner, but with the way they lost, that was crazy. Quick recap on tonight, guys. We went 2% wild first period, 2% wild full game. They lost. The Red Wings got the job done, but we went 3% on the Buffalo Sabres. That is, I think, 3 nights in a row, guys, that I have talked about some of these quote-unquote fishy lines. And a fishy line, sometimes you got to dig deep into it. But when a number looks weird to me, you got to ask yourselves why. And a lot of times I'm going to end up on that team that it looks weird on. And I think that, this Buffalo Sabres team, their numbers are better than how they were playing. And for the Detroit Red Wings, they're actually a worse team than kind of what they were playing like. So they weren't going to win every game. They had only lost 1 game on the season so far. It was definitely a flat spot for them. It was a guy making his debut in the NHL at goaltending, a team that was on an absolute roll against a team that was not playing very well at the time. And guys, the Buffalo Sabres ended up going off as like minus 125 favorites here. If you guys ever think, and I'm not saying that it always works out like this, but if you ever think, oh, what do the books know? I mean, hey, this team is doing well. There's a reason for everything. And I'll tell you what, right now, I think this Buffalo Sabres team is going to be able to score some goals. Josh Doan with Quinn, with some of these guys, Benson, obviously Tage Thompson. They've got a talented team. So they are a good one. Hey, Andrew, did you catch the line movement before puck drop? They were nearly a pick 'em and then went minus 130. Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. We got it near pick, which is exciting to see. But yeah, as you mentioned, near puck drop, we saw some money come in on Buffalo. And if you guys ever see money coming in, like, people will tell you that sharp money doesn't matter and movement doesn't matter. I'm here to say that one of the favorite things for me about doing this show, the pre-scout with you guys and looking at some of the numbers, there's going to be some days where I come on and I've got a bunch of picks for you. There's going to be some days where we're just getting prepped. We're talking about the numbers, talking about scenarios. And then you guys can, of course, catch me on puck time at 10 p.m. or 10 p.m., 11 a.m. Eastern the next day. That's the goal. We go from one thing to the next. I follow line movement and lines. Yeah, I do. Exactly. I do too, but you don't have to base it. Here's a good example here, guys. I thought it was a good spot for the Calgary Flames today. And bias aside, I was tempted to go against the Montreal Canadiens, but based on how poorly we've been seeing, like at least the Buffalo Sabres were putting goals on the board. Right now, Calgary's just not putting goals on the board. So that's what kept me off playing the Calgary Flames here. I knew we were going to get a good effort out of them. I knew it was going to be a tough spot for the Canadiens' first game of their road trip after playing so well at home. But this is one of those spots here, guys, where the Calgary Flames just have not been scoring goals. And we see it now. They are halfway through the second period right now while I'm live recording this, live on the show, and they have not scored a goal. So that was the reason why I stayed off the Calgary Flames. Ever come to Climate Pledge Arena? I have not. I've got a bucket list of a couple different arenas that I want to get to, and definitely want to make my way to more. But I think before I do that, I got to go to the Bell Center a lot more. You guys know how diehard I am. I got to go to the arena that I like the most a lot more. The parlay with the Wild. Devils are looking great. Devils are looking great, you know. Yeah, I was definitely wrong about Minnesota. I'm going to put it this way here, guys. I'm going to give Minnesota a shot, though, because we were able to make money on them in the first game, or one of their games, I think against Washington of the road trip. But they haven't looked great on the road. There's no denying it. But one thing about this team, and kind of shame on me here for this, because typically I am a lot more of a fan of backing the Minnesota Wild when they are at home. And maybe that's on me. Hand up. Maybe that's on me because, we get caught back in the Minnesota Wild. But we'll continue to look at that theory as far as the team second half of back-to-back. Like, I got to hand it to New Jersey. What a job by them. Second half of back-to-back. They beat Toronto. They fly back home, and they win 4-1. Like, good job by them. Got to give them credit. Here's a pick from It's Me for Pasternak against Anaheim tomorrow. Over 3.5 shots, last 3 games, 7.54. Average 4.75. Medium is 4.5. ESPN has been putting this prop at plus 105 every day. Goes over against Anaheim at 66.67%. I like that. And Pasta, you could tell he wasn't happy. I watched a lot of the quotes. I look at a lot of the stuff. Just didn't look very happy after the last game. He looked like he's going to be real pissed off going into the next game. And Anaheim's a good team to do it against. Great shout there as well. T Streets Richardson. Well, I'm a Wild fan. Thought they looked really fast against New York. Devils slowed them down a lot. 100%. Well, you get those matchup advantages, though, or disadvantages, should I say, when you're on the road. So that's a reason why I like them at home, usually more than on the road. But yeah, it's tough. To look at there. Carm's bankroll play. Yeah, I had that as well. Look, it's all good. It's a grind here, guys. That's for sure. All right, so let's go over some of the openers for tomorrow. We've got, 10, 11 games to look at here. Chicago and Tampa opener 3-13. This Tampa Bay team, returning from a road trip, a team that overall needs to be playing better hockey. But we talked about them yesterday on the show when we were talking about expected goals. They're one of those teams that is creating chances, and I've complained about it so much, but that 5% play I had last Saturday, guys, they created 6.99 expected goals, and they didn't find the back of the net. This is a team that right now doesn't have that scoring touch, very similar to like the New York Rangers, where their players are creating chances, but they're just not capitalizing and finding a way to score. That can be an issue. That can be something worrisome for certain teams. And when I look at the line here, I think the bookmakers are thinking, you know what? This is going to be one pissed off team. They're on the road against the Bruins. on the road against the Capitals, on the road against the Red Wings, on the road against the Blue Jackets, and you guys want to talk about an unsuccessful road trip. The first of the road trip, they get the job done and put up a 4 spot on the Bruins, but they almost give up that lead late in the game, only winning that by 1 goal. Then you lose to the Capitals, you lose to the Red Wings, you lose to the Blue Jackets. This team needs to get home. This team needs to get home. And we're going to find a way, guys. We're going to find a way to be able to play the Tampa Bay Lightning. Look, call me crazy. This team will bounce back against the Chicago Blackhawks. Blackhawks have been looking decent their last couple games here. Plus 1.5 has looked really good for them. 4-3 win loss over against the Bruins. 3-2 loss against the Canadiens. So plus 1.5 covers for them in their first 2 games. 3-1 win over the Mammoth, 8-3 win over the Blues, 3-2 loss against the Blackhawks, and 2-1 for them. So this team overall, guys, has not really been blown out themselves all year. So we'll see what happens. We'll have to kind of look over that one. That's for sure, even though the Hawks have beaten the Bolts in Tampa in the past. Andrew, I couldn't believe your stat earlier today. Stars top 5 worst expected goals. I immediately texted my friend who's a Stars fan and told him they were around the Sharks. What is going on with the Stars? I think that right now they're kind of escaping their identity of a good defensive team that they were for so long. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that is because this is probably the most offensive talent that the Dallas Stars have had in a very, very long time. And when you look at the team for how much offensive talent they have, sometimes that makes you pull back a little bit from your true identity, and that's a defensive team. So, yeah, it's hard to believe. Let's do a little refresh right now to look at this expected goals against right now. And, you know, you got some teams that are just not doing well. Expected, excuse me, we'll try and find this here, guys. Sorry. Expected goals for percentage, though, continues to be something I'm monitoring. Carolina, Washington, Colorado, New York, and Ottawa, number 5, top 5. That's really impressive to look at. So we'll see. Huge favorites tomorrow. Knew my Detroit were going to lose, beat all the good teams, and lose to Buffalo. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Sometimes you just find spots like that. Guys, I got an announcement for you for Friday's show, the Every Game on the Board podcast. We are going to have Cam Stewart from Sports Grid. Cam does all kinds of content on multiple platforms. You can find him mostly on Sports Grid. Many of you guys should know him from Canadian television. The Score, we used to do all kinds of work with Gabe Morency. Of course, we had Morency on last week. So Cam Stewart breaking down the entire Saturday slate. I didn't want to forget to mention that. So guys, do not miss Friday night's episode. It's going to be kick-ass, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. Philadelphia and Ottawa, 5.5 is the total, but some spots are showing 6.5. That number hasn't moved too much. Ottawa, guys, they just remain a joke defensively. Then they finally have a good defensive game against the Oilers, and they lose that one as well. So that one's tough. That one's tough to see. Detroit and New York, second half of back-to-back for Detroit. New York right now kind of overachieving. I guess not overachieving, but playing in more higher scoring games. This is a spot here where I think that we could see the Detroit Red Wings give up some goals tomorrow, because we saw a game against the Buffalo Sabres where they give up goals late, but I wouldn't be shocked to see our first kind of crazy over game in the New York Islanders and Detroit Red Wings. This is kind of a team that I think with the Islanders, that their true identity as the season progresses is going to be an under team, but wouldn't be shocked to see second half of back-to-back. The second half of back-to-back as well, guys. We talked about the theory, right? So teams coming off second half of back-to-back, the wins you want to fade, but the loss actually in the first period, they haven't been too bad. Actually, these teams kind of have like a bad feeling in their mouth. So I might look towards first period over Detroit and New York. You guys can circle that one. First period over Detroit and New York might be a good one. IceX says, I'll be on wings and regulation. Just looking at them to bounce back. So yeah, couldn't talk you off that one. New York is very interesting. It's kind of hard to get a read on this team, but I'll tell you what, right now, Schaefer looks unbelievable. He looks really good. So, yeah, guys, I'm just scrolling through your comments here right now. I think a lot of us are on the same page about this, especially you guys talking on Twitter. I just think that this is a spot here for the goals to come in early. Detroit's been a good team. Their offense has been good. I still don't trust their defense. So first period over in that one. We can take any good team, any team against San Jose when San Jose is on the road. They will lose 80% of the games on the road, and no line will be minus 400. This is plus EV. Hey, San Jose has not looked that good so far. Fun question. Will the new goalie coach change for the Islanders? Flip performance of Sorokin and Rittich, meaning Rittich becomes stinky again and Sorokin becomes a wall again. I think goaltending coaches, and when there's changes like that, it takes a little bit of a difference. A little bit of time for that stuff to really make a difference. It really does. Last night, he looked like Niedermayer. Yeah, he is unbelievable. Matthew Schaefer, guys, watch out for him for years to come. Power play point is going to be good for him in years to come, as well as just betting those assist props as well. Guys, a lot of you guys watching on YouTube, but a ton of you guys watching on X right now. If you're watching on X, do me a favor. Retweet this. Hit the repost. Means a lot to me. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're watching. Give me any comments, and make sure you watch on all these busy cards that we have. But tune in. 10 p.m. Eastern, we're here. Some days we have guests. Some days we're breaking it down with the live chat, and sometimes we're just giving out certain picks. So if you're watching on X, repost, retweet, whatever it might be. And if you are watching on YouTube, I see all the comments the next day. I appreciate all of you guys and the kind words that you guys are supporting me with my new show. It means a lot to me. And as I mentioned, we're going to come on. We're going to be transparent. You know, when we have a big day, we're going to tell you. When we have a bad day, we're going to tell you. We're going to try and bring the energy, and we're going to try and have some fun. And you guys let me know if you're down for this. But I was thinking some days we actually just might go live during some of the games and just sweat it out. Do like a live show. Talking about the games, looking for in-game bets and things like that. You guys tell me if you'd show up. If you guys would show up, then I'll be here as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're watching on X, make sure you retweet that for me. Appreciate it. Appreciate that, guys. Pittsburgh and Florida here. Minus 235 early opener. Number immediately gets hit down to minus 190.95 at certain ballparks. Bet Online, Circa, Pinnacle. Hit that one quite a bit. Guys, this is one of those spots here where it's the first game back after a little bit of a road trip for the Florida Panthers. They were on the road against the Flyers, on the road against the Red Wings, on the road against the Devils, on the road against the Sabres, and on the road against the Boston Bruins. So there's a couple different ways to look at this here, guys. We can say it's first game back after a road trip. We can say that could be a tough and sticky situation for them here. But I'm going to use the exact same thing that I used for the Pittsburgh Penguins the other day. And I know it sounds hilarious to compare the Pittsburgh Penguins to the Florida Panthers, guys. But, and I'm going to use what Carmine said. I think our good friend Mo, and his last name, Mentum, is going to be in the building for the Florida Panthers, getting that win, putting up 4 goals on the board against the Boston Bruins. This, to me, is a good spot here. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, they had their first game back after a road trip, and then they go on the road once again here. So this Pittsburgh team is playing pretty well here, guys. But I still am confident in this Florida Panthers team. So we're going to look at some plays, find a way to take a look at Florida, whether it be a team total, whether it be tossing them in a parlay, whether it be playing them first period. I have the Pittsburgh Penguins circled as a team that I'm going to try and fade in some way, shape, or form on the Thursday slate. So a couple different things that we're looking at there. San Jose, New York, guys, I have nothing in that one. Anaheim and Boston, minus 127 open number for Boston, minus 119 current price at Pinnacle. One thing I wanted to mention is that I think this I think this Ducks team is going to be much different when they play on the road versus when they play at home. You take a look at this Ducks team. I feel like they haven't really overly been challenged this season so far. They've played the Kraken. They've played the Sharks. They've played the Penguins. They've played the Blackhawks. They've played the Predators. Their toughest matchup that they've played so far, guys, has been the Hurricanes. And in that game, they lost 4-1. Toughest matchup they've played so far. They lost 4-1 against Carolina. Boston will not be happy with that performance against the Florida Panthers. They came back late in the game. They made it a little bit closer. But if we're talking about conceptually, about certain spots, no travel, bounce back situations, it was an emotional game. The Boston Bruins having that tribute video for Brad Marchand and all that good stuff. I think this is a spot here to look towards betting on the Boston Bruins. Don't forget, guys, the Anaheim Ducks seem to be everybody's favorite team this year. I really don't know one person that doesn't like the Anaheim Ducks this season. Everybody loves the Anaheim Ducks. Who doesn't love the Ducks in their offense? But I think this could be a good sneaky spot for the Boston Bruins. Vancouver and Nashville. This Nashville offense is just so dry. It's a bit ridiculous. This is really a battle of two teams that are kind of struggling in their own way. But I think that the Canucks got a wake-up call. You know, they beat the Stars, they beat the Blackhawks, they beat the Capitals. Then they get a wake-up call, and they get their asses kicked 5-1 against the Penguins. Lean towards the road team in that one, but at the end of the day, that's kind of one of those ones that I want to follow as the game progresses. But you guys want to know how the books feel about this Nashville Predators team as I take a look at the live odds right now, and I'll get better about bringing those on the screen in the future. But if you guys are watching via podcast as well, or if you're watching on YouTube, you just follow along with me, oddslogic.com or WagerTalk live odds. I'm always going in rotation order. But this tells you all you need to know about this Nashville team. They're playing at home, and there's minimal, and I mean pretty much next to nothing for home ice advantage. They should be motivated after their last game, and they're not. I just have minimal faith in this Nashville team. So kind of lean towards Vancouver. Also looking towards the under in that game. I trust both teams' goaltenders. And right now the offenses, I think, have been very inconsistent for both of those rosters. Seattle and Winnipeg, I've got nothing in that one. Happy to hear anything you guys have. Seattle and Winnipeg. Winnipeg looks real good right now, and I for damn sure don't want to go against them. That's for sure. Looking at this Kraken team, though, they have had some kind of weird traveling lately. Like, it's been a little bit on and off for them. And then, they're still on their road trip. There we go. They're still on their road trip. So they're on the road against the Habs, on the road against the Sens, on the road against the Leafs, on the road against the Flyers, on the road against the Capitals, and they're still on the road against Winnipeg. Holy shit, guys. That's crazy. I thought they were back home. I read the game wrong. They're back at home. That's kind of nuts. So you guys got my live reaction to that. They did not look good whatsoever. They did not look good. We got to think about that. I'll try and talk about that tomorrow on Puck Time. The thing is, Seattle team total under, like, I think they're going to come out with some sort of pride. Like, 3 goals combined their last 2 games. Last game of the road trip, they better step up and show a little bit of pride. Steve says last 5 games in Nashville between these two is 5-0 to Vancouver. Wow. Very, very good information, Steve. Thank you for that. Have not looked over that yet. Rich says draw friendly matchup. Vancouver and Nashville. Hard to argue with that one. Los Angeles and Dallas. You guys might think I'm crazy with this. I like LA and I like the over. I feel like this is an offensive team. The Los Angeles Kings this year, they're finding their offensive touch. I feel like getting on the road is a good thing for them. They're going to play better when they're on the road. I think that this team's going to get it together. I want to try and find certain situations to back LA. We've seen money come in on LA. Opener was 171 for Dallas. Current price at Circa is minus 150. What's very interesting, at certain books like Pinnacle, they've got 160. So Circa has a little bit of a different price compared to a lot of other books. That says something to me. I'm willing to maybe take a shot on the Los Angeles Kings, but I do lean towards the over. Some books I've already switched to 6. If you can get 5.5, I wouldn't talk anybody off that as well. Montreal, Edmonton, we're not seeing much of a line so far in this one. Here's one thing I'm going to tell you. Back-to-backs matter in the NHL. The Montreal Canadiens are a very, very young team, so the back-to-back could impact them. Their game tonight, if I'm just going to check the score right now, 1-0 after the second period. You guys know the deal. Sometimes I think first half of a back-to-back, if it's high scoring, second half is low scoring. If the first half of a back-to-back is low scoring, second half is going to be a little bit high scoring. Edmonton is not happy right now. The Montreal Canadiens, especially if they hang on to win against Calgary, they're going to be going into Edmonton feeling pretty good about themselves. And maybe, just maybe, Edmonton catches them sleeping. Edmonton off their East Coast road trip as they were playing in Ottawa a couple games ago. And they're doing a little bit of traveling here. How long was their road trip? Let's just check to see what their road trip was. So they played the Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Red Wings, and Senators. They beat the Rangers. They lost to the Islanders. They lost to the Devils. They lost to the Red Wings. And they beat the Sens just 3-2 in overtime. Knew that under was a good play. Yeah, Dobish is playing really, really well right now, and Dustin Wolf is having a really good game. So, guys, I think that this Oilers team is probably going to find their offense at home. That's what I'm trying to say. And if the game between the Canadiens and you guys are watching after this is finished being recorded, and you see that the Montreal game against Calgary remained low scoring, I think we could see goals against Edmonton. Now, scanning across the board, there are opportunities for underdogs. There are opportunities to cash some underdog tickets. If I were to tell you one underdog that I might like when we're looking at this board, I mean, I think you got to lean towards a team like Utah, and you got to lean towards a team like Los Angeles. A little bit interested in looking at those. Also, Carolina and Colorado. Colorado, even though they came off that wild game against Utah, they're going to be extremely motivated because it was kind of a bad and sloppy ending. Just sloppy ending to that one with Carolina and Colorado. They're not going to be happy. And when you look at this Hurricanes team, guys, this is the last thing I'll say here. When you look at this Hurricanes team, not really much has gone wrong for them this season. And then they ended up having that 4-1 loss against the Vegas Golden Knights. Road trip for them against the Sharks, Ducks, and Kings went extremely well. But then you get that gut punch. You play a really good team with the Vegas Golden Knights. Like, hey, maybe you're not as good as you thought you were because you beat the Ducks and the Sharks, right? And then you go ahead and you play the Knights and you get that wake-up call. Well, I think the wake-up call might happen as well against the Colorado Avalanche. We'll see, guys. We'll very well see. But I think we could I think we could see the Avalanche bouncing back. And I'm disappointed I haven't actually taken enough props with them so far. So make sure you guys are using goaliepost.com to check the goalies, to check all the matchups. But let's find some spots to bounce back here, guys. And I'll tell you, if I'm going to give you a best bet for the show for Thursday, and again, a lot of this stuff is just going through it. I've got some of these picks that I like. Some of the stuff we're just kind of blasting over. I'm going to give you a best bet for the show. No prop, no team total, no whatever. Straight up on the money line at TD Garden, we're going to take the Boston Bruins to get the job done against the Anaheim Ducks. Tough matchup for them against the Panthers. They lost that one. They fought right until the end, those Boston Bruins, and I do feel like they'll take advantage of the Anaheim Ducks. Give me the Boston Bruins to get the job done. What is one thing I can say in the live chat tomorrow that Prez won't ignore and will rile him up? What's one thing I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I got to think about that. What's one thing you can say in a live chat that Prez won't ignore and will rile him up? Maybe I got an idea. If he's only wearing a t-shirt, ask Prez why he didn't dress up more for the show. That's what you got to do. I'm curious to see. Ask him why he didn't dress up more for the show. How he says you're. No, I don't want to you don't make fun of anybody, how anybody says anything. That's for sure. Is it a 5% play? Modern sports betting. No 5% play for me tomorrow so far on the slate, but I still got to dive deeper. I might have some stuff I like on tomorrow's a lot. Might change my opinion on a couple things. And as I look over, sometimes guys, I look at a slate and then sometimes I'm like, this is a big underdog day. This to me seems like a good spot for a couple of favorites that I really like quite a bit. Bruins is not a 5% play, or else I wouldn't mention it on the show, but it is definitely a play that I will be on. That's for sure. What is Prez's team? His team is the Maple Leafs. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays. Take down the Dodgers, man. How can you cheer for a team that's minus 210? Who wants to cheer for the favorite? A lot more fun cheering for the underdog. All right, guys, we're going to continue to grow the pre-scout. We're talking to some people, hopefully, to build some sponsorships. If anybody out there is following the show, if you're interested in hopping on as a sponsor, reach out to me through X, through Twitter. We're live every single night, 10 p.m. Eastern time. But we're giving out picks, and we're talking about all the games. And you guys let me know in the comments section. If you're interested, I may be doing some live shows during games, talking about in-game betting and talking about the games that are coming up. And if there's like an afternoon, a Saturday, where there's a ton of games, I might just go live for the whole afternoon and things like that. We can talk about the games going on and stuff like that. So we'll see. But you guys let me know. But if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're watching on X, repost this for me. It certainly does mean a lot. And if you guys are interested in all of my plays, don't forget about that coupon code NHL25, 25% off a 30-day NHL pass at wt.buzz/am. And I know this is a hockey show, guys, but I've got a best bet available, prop bet for Thursday Night Football, 16-6 NFL prop run. I can't wait for this play on Thursday night. And I'm looking at a 5% play this weekend in NFL action as well. 16-6 NFL prop run, but NHL 25 will take 20% off. Guys, thanks very much for watching. I want you to know it truly does mean a lot to me. Going to try and get more guests. Let me know anybody you guys want me to ask to come on the show with me. The only thing difficult is that many people might not want to come on a show at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll see what happens. We'll try and get as many people as we possibly can. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.